Yo, people, we back. We back again. The boys are back in town. Hey, I know you man missed us in it, but we're back. 21-22 Premier League season, La Liga season, Bundesliga, Champions League. We're back for all of it. So you know what? Before we start, the usuals, like, comment and subscribe. This is a new season. This is a new beginning. You know them ones. New pastures. So, to honor this new opportunity, let's make sure we get new people on board. You know them ones there. But enough of me rambling on. Let's get to know the topic for today. We're doing a season preview for the Premier League. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go club by club. We're gonna be assessing their transfers, where they need to improve on from last year, and just our general expectations for what they are capable of doing this season. So before we start, let's introduce ourselves. If they don't know, let them know now. So my name is Josh.
I'm Dan.
Sarah.
Denzel.
All right, man. Obviously, our Twitter and Insta is in the description, so make sure you subbed on. The ones there. So let's begin, and let's begin with the boys in red, Arsenal, the red side of London, the former biggest club in London. Now currently residing in second.
I know you're talking about, fella.
I think we all know who you're talking
Calm
about.
down, guys.
But let me begin with the Arsenal fan. So what's your general thoughts and opinions that you've seen so far of Arsenal, and how you feeling for the season?
Yeah, so there's 4 weeks left in the window.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2 weeks till the first game of the season, and I can comfortably say that Edu and Arteta have no idea what they're doing. They promised a squad overhaul. Arteta claimed that we had to be ruthless, and at the end of last season, this is by the way, he claimed that they already had a lot in place ready to attack the window and work early. So far, Arsenal have spent £80 million, 50 million on Ben White, 20 on Lokonga, and 10 on Nuno Tavares. And can we honestly say, as a starting 11, as a team, they've improved? Because I don't think we have.
Well, they're starting 11.
Yeah, I think if we look at it, can we say right now, definitively, Ben White is £50 million better than David Luiz?
No
way.
But he's definitely an upgrade on David Luiz.
Yeah, I understand, but
Definitely.
we spent £80 million and we've not improved. The problem areas that Arsenal had is attacking midfielder, the 10, a partner in midfield for Partey, and a right back. Not a single one of them has been bought.
Exactly.
Lokonga has been bought, but he's not, by all accounts, he's not expected to start. He's spoken highly of by Vincent Kompany, by Thierry Henry, who have worked with him. And I respect their opinion, but there's better deals on the market for £20 million. Sabitzer, who's already an international playing at Champions League level, comes in and improves the starting 11 straight away, available for 20 million. Aouar is there for 25 million, who last summer was considered one of the highest rated young midfielders in Europe. And I don't understand why we've not addressed these areas. It doesn't make any sense. Arsenal were promised this big overhaul. Players like Xhaka, Bellerin, Torreira, Guendouzi, Willian, these were expected to all go. They were expected to be all suitors for these players. And even the players that there have been suitors for, we haven't been able to sell. One of the only players we've managed to get out is Saliba, who most people were excited for next season. I think Edu and Arteta need to have a real good look at themselves, because even though there's been some good rumours. This is how starving we are. Rumours coming out in the last couple of days that Arsenal are looking to bring in Lautaro and Maddison. At the end of the day, they're rumours. And even if Arsenal get both of them players, Lautaro and Maddison, they've not got a right back and they've not got a partner for Partey. We're going into the season with Granit Xhaka again, the guy who's got the most errors leading to goals in the Premier League, and the guy who's been with us for 5 seasons and we've not got Champions League. Like, I think everyone at Arsenal was of the impression that we were going to move on from this guy, and it was by all accounts that he was going to go, but he's not. So Arsenal, my prediction for Arsenal this season, even if Arsenal get Maddison and Lautaro, which is incredibly unrealistic, that's the chance of that is probably 1 out of 10. I still don't think Arsenal make top 4, or I think Arsenal barely make top 6. If Arsenal don't make another signing now, they finish 7th or 8th, guaranteed.
let's unpack that. So, going into the season, we're saying Arsenal needed a backup left back.
Yeah.
So they've got that.
Yeah.
That's not priority. Once you've got big holes in the squad, you can't be going for backups first.
No, but let's go by it step by step.
Mm.
So you got the left back in it for a backup.
Mm.
Because I remember last season, you man were playing Xhaka left back in at one point.
Yeah.
That was a problem.
Yeah. So they've done that.
But one thing I will say about Nuno Tavares, I understand that it was cheap. It was £10 million or 10 million euros. So it wasn't expensive. And he's of the right age profile where he can improve and we can make profit. But when Benfica fans are celebrating him leaving and saying he's the worst player in the squad, that's not that's not exciting. And if it turns out that they were right, Edu and Arteta are in big trouble.
Yeah, 100. Obviously, Ben White, we understand, to replace Luiz for his ball playing ability.
But if we're being totally honest, would it not have been a wiser move just to extend Luiz for another year and address the big issue areas and then wait for Saliba to come back in the team?
I mean, it looks like Arteta don't even rate Saliba.
Why is Saliba gone? He's back on loan.
Yeah.
And one thing I'll say about Saliba, he played 2 days ago against Villarreal and was voted man of the match.
So you're buying these young players in like Nuno Tavares. You had Saliba.
Arsenal's a club that can't afford to waste £30 million.
Exactly.
And they've wasted £30 million. If you're Man City, you can afford to do that. If you're Chelsea, you can afford to waste £30 million. Arsenal don't have £30 million.
I think Arsenal are probably richer than what we give them credit for.
But they're not showing it.
Yeah, they're not.
I mean, they're saying they want to pay 60 M for Madison, innit? So I think they do have.
That's all rumours, though. We don't know that.
I mean, when I saw the Lautaro Martinez rumours, I thought, oh my god, honestly.
And especially when it comes from, with all due respect to David Ornstein, he's a great journalist, but as soon as, I think, when he moved to the Athletic, there's been a lot of very pro-Kroenke and pro-Arteta, pro-regime articles coming out. And I know there's been a lot of discontent from Arsenal fans towards Ornstein that some have called him a puppet for the Kroenkes and the regime. I don't know if I believe that, but I'm just saying, until it's actually done, rumours mean nothing.
I mean, me personally, I don't read too much, but it's just the idea in it. But continuing to assess it, you've bought Lokonga, and you have to look at the profile. He's just a project signing. He isn't a first team signing, so I don't think you should look at we should have bought Sabitzer or something like that. He's a separate, I think, in my opinion. He's just a project signing.
But if Arsenal don't make another central midfielder signing, which is looking increasingly likely,
you're going to be stuck with the same midfield.
Because, let's be honest, there's a lot of teams that have the same issue where they haven't bought players in. We know these teams anyway.
Well, with Arsenal, there was clear options there. Bissouma was crying for Arsenal to buy him. And we went to Brighton and spent 50 million not on Bissouma.
On Ben White instead.
Ben White, who's arguably Brighton's third best centre-back.
Because I've heard as well, Fabrizio was saying how some clubs are waiting until the end of August before they buy players because they can get it at a cheaper price, where clubs are more disadvantaged.
But the thing I'll tell you though, Josh, is the Premier League starts in 2 weeks' time. When Arsenal don't have a squad ready, which happens every single year, Arsenal haven't finished their business before the Premier League, and then the manager will come out complaining that he didn't get a pre-season with all the players and that the first couple of weeks he didn't get all his players in. But that's his fault. You've messed around for the whole of July doing nothing.
I don't know. We don't know what they're doing.
The Ben White thing, I think it's a little bit nuts. He's a very good player, don't get me wrong. I feel like
I don't think he's established yet.
It's weird. It's weird because of Arsenal fans. I'm seeing a lot of Arsenal fans that are very, very happy about this transfer.
It's because he's signing for Arsenal. They have no choice about the matter.
And the regard in which they're holding him in is a bit odd to me. I feel like
the way you need to look at it, before the window, if you ask Arsenal fans, will you spend 50 million on Ben White? I guarantee 99 out of 100 say no. But because it's actually happened, Arsenal fans, I don't know why, they feel like they need to protect their pride of the club.
Yeah,
so they'll go to war and be like, oh, it is a good signing. They were doing the same with Willian last season.
It's odd to me. I don't understand how they're holding him in such high regard, because I don't want to even talk about the comparisons, but we've all seen on Twitter the whole.
I don't think Arsenal fans have been making that comparison.
Nah, Arsenal fans are making that comparison.
I think it's mainly coming out Man United.
Why would Man United fans compare Varane to Ben White?
Because they've got him for cheaper, and they're saying Arsenal fans have got mugged off here.
What I'm saying is, I've seen one of our own on this podcast already tell us with chest on Twitter that Ben White's gonna have a better season than Rafael Varane.
Ori's an Arsenal fan, but I think a lot of Ori's opinions are not the same with a lot of the Arsenal fan base though. Yeah,
but the way like you're riding, obviously he's your player, so you're gonna ride out for him. But if we sign a player of the say if United sign a player of the caliber of Ben White,
Well, you did with Maguire, innit?
Yeah.
And everyone was ripping him.
Maguire's better.
Maguire was more established than Ben White.
He was, but it's very similar in sense of like they've not really established themselves yet as a top player.
I mean, he's had
And
what,
there's
half
been
a good
massive
season at
money.
Leeds and then went to Brighton.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
think Maguire had a
Ben
lot
White,
more
yeah.
Premier
Ben
League
White.
experience because he was
Yeah.
at, what was it?
Leicester.
He was at Leicester and he was at Hull as well.
Yeah.
He'd been in the Prem for a little bit.
And
Ben
he
White,
started at the World Cup as well.
exactly. So he did have
But
experience.
I think if Arsenal fans are going to make a comparison, it shouldn't be Varane, it should be Maguire, because Maguire and White are more similar in the fact that they're both English, they're both coming from Premier League, both coming from big money, and a lot of people are criticising it.
Yeah.
Whereas Varane, we don't need to get into Varane. He's one of the best defenders in the world.
Yeah.
It's just the comparison didn't make sense because it looks to me like you're setting your player up for failure.
Yeah.
And like even if the United fans were the ones to start that dialogue in the first place, I don't see what like engaging in that how it helps
It's
Arsenal
pride.
fans and
It's
how
pride.
it helps his case. Because if he has a stinker next season, I don't think he will have a stinker. By the way, I think he will have a decent season. I don't think it's going to be
I
a
think he'll be
bad signing.
competent. I still
know
feel
what?
like he'll play
Actually,
fullback.
Despite the fact that I don't agree with the signing because I think it impacts other signings, I
Exactly.
actually think he will be a good signing
Yeah.
because despite Arsenal being poor, we do have a very good defensive structure.
Yeah.
And we conceded the third least goals last season.
Exactly.
So I think he will actually be quite good. But it's just the other signings, man. Like our biggest problem was creativity and scoring goals. And
You haven't solved it.
and the midfield. And the rumours are that we're keeping Xhaka, giving him a pay increase, by the way,
Yeah.
a wage rise, and we're getting Odegaard in on loan again. We're going in to back-to-back 8th finishes with the exact same team.
And apparently Ancelotti doesn't even want
Odegaard.
You don't want
So
him,
what
yeah.
are you waiting for?
Yeah, I
So
understand
in
that one, Odegaard.
a nutshell, Arsenal is the same team as last season plus Ben White and a couple backup dancers.
I feel like you guys are being a bit harsh. 'Cause
On
for me,
you.
I'm looking at it. Yeah, Arsenal have brought in Ben White again. Another not similar to Lukonga, but he's a project signing as well, where you have high hopes for him, high potential. And with the DM thing with Bazuma and all them, you could see is all reliant on Xhaka leaving. If Xhaka doesn't leave, they're not buying another.
But that's
DM.
your job, though. At the end of the day, that's your job as the DOF. If you don't want a player, you need to get him to go.
No, but Roma don't want to pay the P's that you want. And
But
Arsenal
it's not
fans,
just Roma, though.
Arsenal fans criticize their board for being too light and just selling players.
that's
And when
their
they
job,
do,
though, Josh.
when they're trying to say no, this is what we want. If you're not paying, then fuck off. Man are getting angry saying, "Oh, we don't want him." There's a bit of like,
But
you got-
at
you
the
got-
end of the day, that's their job. They need to get players gone. They need to manage the
No,
squad.
no,
They
but-
need to get the
hey,
money.
come on,
And
we
they've
have-
not done any.
no, we have to be like honest. You can't just say they have to do your job. They're doing their job. They're saying if you want to buy Xhaka, you got to pay 18 M's. Roma spent 20 million on some striker, but they don't want to pay money to buy Arsenal's player.
That's my point. How can you not get 20 million out of Roma for Xhaka, who's just had a very good Euros, and they're
pricing one up.
spending 20 million on that? It's because they know that you can't negotiate. It's because they know you can't do your job.
Or they just don't want to pay the money.
Well, if they don't want to pay the money, find someone else who's going to pay the money. You wanted this player to go. You wanted him to go. You wanted him.
I
You
don't know. I
said
think we're being a bit too
Nah,
simplistic.
we're not being too
like,
simplistic.
You just take him like it doesn't work like that. If
the
they
Arsenal-
don't want to
Arsenal
pay it,
promised
then
a
they're
squad
not.
overhaul. There's suitors for Xhaka. There's suitors for Torreira. There was suitors for Guendouzi. They've managed to get £10 million for Guendouzi. 10 million.
That is not good.
Well, they sold him permanently.
Yeah.
So,
Wait,
wait,
is
where's
Torreira,
he
is
going?
Torreira gone?
Loan with obligation to Marseille.
Well,
no,
haven't-
Torreira's still at the club. He wants to
So
go.
why he? Oh.
You have a lot of deadwood.
And they've not managed to get any
And
of them
also,
gone.
what's the other big issue is Aubameyang and Lacazette. What is happening with them two?
There's about 10 players that Arsenal should get rid of. Willian, he wants to go. He's not been able to go. Xhaka, Torreira, Guendouzi is the one they've got gone. Maitland-Niles, Nelson, Nketiah, Lacazette, Bellerin.
Yeah.
That's 9 players that you've needed to get go.
And they all
you've-
played to
you've
such
got
amount
one.
of minutes last year as
You've
well.
got one. That's shocking. Really, honestly, that's shocking.
I think you just gotta look at it. If no one wants to pay the price, then what are
But
you gonna
Josh,
do?
like, for example, Chelsea will. I don't know if they have, but I'm pretty sure they'll get a good fee for Bakayoko, despite him doing
yeah.
that.
You're saying Chelsea still have Drinkwater, Barkley, what's his name, Bakayoko, Baba Rahman,
But they'll-
Michi Batshuayi.
They'll get at
Tammy
least 10 mil for
Abraham.
each of them.
And
Yeah,
they'll-
they
and
still
they-
haven't sold them.
Yeah, you get 10 million.
And they've still managed to bring in their
Exactly.
targets.
Which target?
Last season, they still managed to bring in their targets with their big overhaul. That was your big overhaul.
Well,
We
last
were-
season.
Yeah, when you spent 200
Oh.
million. We were promised our big overhaul, and our targets are Abrahams, Ramsdale, and Ben White.
Oh, we didn't have our overhaul last
yeah.
year. We just bought bare players.
That it was a little bit of an overhaul, I'd say.
Who did you sell? It was just Hazard.
First, but your squad changed.
No, but what I'm saying is
We just bought bare players.
you managed your squad.
And man,
where you could afford
people
to.
were saying, "Oh, Chelsea don't know what they're buying, but they won the Champions League." I don't
Exactly.
know.
Yeah,
That's-
but
that's
that-
doing your
I
job.
mean, that's a
in my
completely
opinion-
different
No, in my
argument.
opinion, I'm sorry. I think football fans just change their mind so quickly.
But Josh, how can you defend Arsenal though? Let's be honest. How can you defend Arsenal? And Arsenal, it's not like they don't have space in the squad. They do.
And the
There is
argument,
space.
the thing is,
They haven't filled out.
You haven't got.
The thing
your
is,
squad isn't
all
full
we
out.
need
Matt
to-
Ryan, Ceballos, and Odegaard are gone. That's 3 foreign spaces that you can fill up, and you've brought in Nuno and Lokonga, who are both under 21, so they don't have to be registered.
it's
And Ben White's homegrown, so you can still bring in 3 players.
I don't know. I'm just like of the belief. Let's just wait and see, innit?
Now the thing is with Arsenal is that they've come off a season where they finished 8th. You'd think that they would act with a lot more urgency.
Go full
100%.
throttle for the
You
league.
think they
No
would act with a
competition.
lot more urgency than they've
Exactly.
acted. It looks like they're comfortable in 8th place.
100%.
And it doesn't make sense to me. You hear
100%.
Arsenal fans, obviously the ones that are Arteta in, saying Arteta just needs one good window and he will be back. We'll be back in the top 4 if Arteta gets one good window. Like Ori says, Arteta just needs a good window, this thingy. And then if you can finish in 8th place and then the board doesn't back you, there's no way
Josh,
in
let me-
future you're going to get backed.
Let me give you an example of how Edu, the DOF, is incredibly incompetent. Last January, he went to Brazil to get Bruno Guimaraes from Flamenco. He had a 34 million release clause. They were willing to accept 20 million. He missed out on him and came away with Pablo Mari, who we're probably going to end up selling in a year, 2 years for 1 million or 2 million because he's not good enough. This summer, who's our top target? Bruno Guimaraes. And we're looking to pay £40 million for him.
Where is
to
he at
Lyon,
now? Right now?
To Lyon.
Lyon, yeah.
That's incompetence. That's genuinely incompetence.
It's a major issue. You can't be at this level. You can't be in 8th place and be sitting comfortable because it looks like, to me, it looks like Arsenal are just sitting comfortable.
No urgency. No urgency at all.
And Arteta needs to do more, like Dan saying, because of he's the one who's going to suffer the consequences. It's not going to be on the board because of the board are the ones in charge of him.
I just hear this with every club.
And I
What?
understand.
I hear it with every single club.
What do you mean by
I
that?
hear it with Liverpool. I heard it with Chelsea at the start.
But you realise
Heard
they're
it
in
with
two
Man
very.
United
They're in,
last
This is a
season.
completely
they're in
different
very
situation
different-
because of
Arsenal
because
have come
of-
8th twice in a row.
exactly Liverpool.
I just hear it with every single
Liverpool,
club.
the
I heard
thing
it
is-
with United last
Okay.
year. Oh yeah,
Should
working
we
too
move into
slow.
a different? Should we move into the next club?
I hear it with every single club, man.
What do you wait? I want him to elaborate on that
Yeah.
point because I don't really understand it
No,
too
it
much.
every club complains that we're not doing this, we're not doing that.
But
Obviously,
okay,
nothing's
the difference
perfect,
is
but
obviously
there's
you're
always
gonna
something.
can I say obviously you're gonna complain as fans, yeah. But the thing is with Arsenal is they have come 8th in the league.
Twice in a row.
They have come 8th in the league, and they haven't. Can you look at any of Arsenal signing and be like, "Wow, that's an amazing signing"? Maybe
If Ben
I
White
wouldn't
is
say
the marquee signing, both of them need to be sacked.
exactly your marquee signing is
Concerning.
Ben White,
I don't know. I'm just
who is
I'm just
inexperienced
waiting.
and
I'm just
hasn't
waiting.
really had too much. Probably he's had what?
He's
How
not
many
even
seasons in the
established at
Prem?
Brighton.
He's had one.
1.5.
He's had one season in the Premier
And one
League,
good
and that's
season in
that. You're telling me
Championship.
that's your marquee signing.
Exactly.
He didn't
This
play a
Arsenal
single game for
team
England.
needs a leader. It needs some experience.
And
At
even
least.
the targets, even the dream targets that
yeah.
Arsenal have been linked to, Maddison and Lautaro, I still don't think they solve the problems. Maddison has
Lautaro's
three
a pointless
open.
signing.
Madison
It's a pointless
has
injury prone as hell.
three open play assists in the last 2 years, and he's not been the same since his hip injury. And Lautaro plays in a 2-man strike force with Lukaku.
You don't even need
and,
Lautaro.
and if you see some of his misses, whew, when he comes to Arsenal and starts doing their misses, he'll be Lacazette 2.0.
Lautaro is one of them, them fantasy signers where
He's
you're just
a
looking,
football manager
he's not-
signing.
he's not- you don't
Where
need
people
on
see
there.
him has good stats on Football Manager, and they're like,
He's got a good link-up play though. Like,
Yeah,
off
like,
the ball, he's good.
all that
But
good
he's
link-up
not-
he's not the
play.
profile striker that you
He's
need.
very similar to Morata, in my opinion.
No, he's different.
I think he's similar to Morata in that his overall play is good, but his finishing is too poor to be a lone striker.
Yeah, Lukaku really helps him a lot in that Milan side, Inter side.
But like, if you're serious, Renato Sanchez, Ruben Neves, like, why have you not gone?
Even Ruben Neves
like,
is not a good sign.
So you're going for we're saying
Do you
a
think,
kid
honestly-
in
They
the
don't need
Conga.
You think Arsenal have the?
They don't need a Renato Sanchez.
I don't honestly. Do you think Renato Sanchez looks at Arsenal and goes, "I fancy that"?
I think he's
At this moment in
he
time.
sees the money and
Probably
says, "Yeah." I think he sees the money. I think anyone in France, really, apart from anyone who plays for PSG,
Fair point.
because the money, Premier League money is just different, man, to everywhere.
Yeah.
Partey was on 30 grand at Atletico. 30 grand, and he came to Arsenal 200 grand.
Yes. Well, yeah, we've spent a bit of time on Arsenal.
Yeah,
where
'cause
we're
they
gonna
need-
go
they-
to
they've
next.
been needing
Just the
to get
final
rid of
point is just let's see what they do.
Go
If
on
they
to the
don't,
Villa.
if this is the only thing that they do after, then yeah, that's a poor
Very
summer.
poor window.
But
Very
if
poor window.
if
Yeah,
they
but
end
Josh,
up bringing
even-
three,
even-
then what's?
Even if they bring in Odegaard on loan again, that's a horrific window.
I'm not sure.
That's genuinely a
Yeah,
horrific
nah, that's still a poor window.
If
That's
if
still a
Arsenal,
poor
I don't
window.
care if Arsenal sign Messi and Ronaldo. If we go near Ramsdale, the worst keeper in the league twice in a row for 30 million pounds.
Streets, some people are saying it's better than Leno.
Nah,
couple
he's
couple
rubbish.
man,
Ramsdale was the
Genuinely
worst
rubbish.
keeper in the
couple
in the
man
league
saying it's
twice
better
in a
than
row.
Leno.
2 relegations on his record, and we're looking to spend 30 million pounds on him because he's English. When we sold Martinez for 20 million pounds.
You know what Arsenal? I feel like Arsenal are doing. They're doing what United did when Ole came in with his first window. They're trying to get all the English signings, but
English
It's like-
signings aren't the way.
it's
forward.
not. It's not.
It's not sustainable.
It's not like
they're
you're.
just overpriced.
The thing is, you're
Yeah.
not taking the cream of the crop when it comes to English signings because we
You're just
we
doing it
took
to fit an era.
at the moment. Wan-Bissaka was very very good. He
Yeah.
had I think the best defensive ratings when he was at Palace when we signed him. So that was a good right back signing. And then we had Harry Maguire who was starting for England. So when we were making these Brexit signings or these English signings, we're signing the cream.
I hate that term now. Brexit.
Yeah, but
I hate
but
it.
but we were signing the cream of the crop in terms of the English
And
talent.
I wouldn't say them two have been awful. They've not even been bad, but I'd say you massively overpaid.
Yeah, we did overpay, but Arsenal were doing the same thing, but
And
they're not paying for the cream of the crop.
And that's the same thing with that's every English signing. Madison for even 60 million is an overpayment.
Yeah.
70 is madness.
Yeah,
Madness.
the English tax is disgusting, but yeah.
Aouar is available for 25 million pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you don't like his.
But he had a
brother.
down year last year, didn't he? That's
But
why he's off.
He's a young player.
Yeah.
Though. I understand.
so
he's
versatile as well.
So
He'd work for you guys.
What's
Villa.
the next club?
Villa.
Villa have had a very very good
Should we start
window.
with Buendia?
And
They-
Bailey.
Wait, who have they bought?
This can I just quickly say
Buendia.
this?
Buendia.
Leon Bailey's been.
Yeah, Buendia.
Confirmed.
and
He's
Bailey.
confirmed. Yeah,
But Grealish is probably going to go.
I don't understand
Yeah.
how a team like Villa can have a better window than Arsenal.
And season.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't make sense to me because of
The window's not even.
Ollie Watkins is going to get 25.
look at their window. They've signed Emi Buendia,
Who Arsenal missed out on, by
signed
the way.
Bailey.
But it's
Who
been
else have they
announced.
signed?
I think,
I don't even rate
Them
Bailey
two.
that highly.
No, Ray Bailey.
He had a good season last
He's better
year.
than Traore.
I don't even know, man. I
He's
never-
better
I think
El Ghazi,
they've had a
there's a-
decent. Yeah, they've had a decent window
He's
for
definitely better
Villa
than
standards. But like we said, Grealish is gonna leave. We'll probably talk about that in the Man City segment, though.
But they've offered Grealish more money than Man City. So we'll see.
Yeah, they offered
what he
200k,
does.
didn't
Yeah.
they?
We'll see. Because
Villa got the juice like that. That's mad.
Yeah, that
Villa,
one was
because
rich.
say what you want about Villa, they're showing ambition.
Yeah,
They're
and their
showing
squad
ambition.
building is
But
is very.
if their record without Grealish is horrible. So if Grealish leaves, they
and
might
their
be in
outlay.
trouble.
So last summer they spent 250 million on Cash, Watkins, all these different players.
Mm.
So if they go through 2-3 windows, just investing large amounts of money, and if it's based on Grealish being there, and the stats show
Yeah,
it's
they're
not,
poor.
but no,
We have to. I think Dean Smith's a good coach, though.
yeah.
I think Smith's a good coach, and I think the signings they made last summer were good.
Even in they bought Morgan Sanson, he's barely
Yeah.
played.
I think they're looking at Ward Prowse as well. I don't know how that
Would
fits
work.
into the, I think either McGinn has to go.
Well, McGinn's been with Liverpool, isn't he? I don't think it's going to happen, but
Hey,
Yeah.
man, I don't like that man. McGinn to
Ah.
Liverpool. I don't like
Um,
McGinn that much. as
what
a
about
player.
Douglas Luiz? What do we think?
He's a good player. I think he's a solid player for Villa.
Mm.
Nah, Villa's got a solid.
We saying what, top 8 for them? Potentially.
I don't know.
Hey, see what Arsenal do. They
I
might
mean-
finish above Arsenal.
Ooh.
Villa might finish above Arsenal.
This guy is very pessimistic
Bro.
about his
No,
club. But he knows his club, innit?
no,
I hate it. I hate
Yeah.
it.
Josh, I said to you before. I said to you like 3 or 4 times, innit? Before the window started. I said after this window, I'll tell you if Arsenal will be serious or if we're not getting Champions League football for the next 3, 4, 5 years. And from what I've seen, we could slide even further down the table.
But one thing, we shouldn't talk about Arsenal anymore. But one thing,
Yeah.
if you don't sell Xhaka, you know you're keeping him. You're not.
Yeah,
buying
we're
any
not
of
buying
him.
another
Yeah.
central midfielder.
When does his contract run out?
He's got 2 years left
You're going to offer him a new one if
with more money, a pay increase.
But let's move from Arsenal.
Yeah, anyway, Villa.
Well, we've
Yeah,
spoken about
we're
Villa.
done
Let's
with
skip
it.
to
Crystal Palace.
the next. No, wait.
Alice? Hey?
Now it's Brentford.
Yeah, you
Oh,
must
them,
know.
Brentford, man.
I don't
Brentford
know.
and Brighton.
I don't know. About
Brentford and Brighton.
Brentford
I don't know about them.
Yeah, nothing really too special. We can.
Brentford so far, I think they've kept Ivan Toney.
That's the big
Which
thing.
is a big
I mean,
thing
he's
for
had
them.
literally one of
Yeah.
the best championship seasons.
And they brought
of
in
all
Christopher
time.
Ayer from Celtic.
FM won the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard he's like, he can play DM as well, can't he?
Yes.
Yeah. They've got a very like Scandinavian midfield as well, haven't
But
they?
they
Like,
usually recruit well though.
yeah,
Like if you've seen some of the players they bought, they've moved on to Premier League clubs.
exactly.
Like they've not all found success. Like Morpay's been poor, but
yeah,
Morpay's a good
It's-
player.
it's
Ben
just
Rama's a good player.
Watkins as well.
Watkins, yeah, they're good recruiters, and I think they do the stat recruitment because the owner owns like a stat company or something.
yeah.
So their recruitment's been well. So
Even if they go down, man, like,
I'm pretty
it's just
confident
good.
they stay up though.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think them and Norwich stay.
Ivan Toney gets 12 to 15 goals. He's getting a move. He's getting a move. I feel like he'll
I'm
get a
surprised
move.
West Ham haven't been in for it.
Mate, we'll move on to them later.
Yeah, so Brighton, not really much happening. In
Wait, so what are we
Brighton.
saying for Brentford? Are they staying up? Do you think?
I
West Ham-
think they stay up. Yeah,
I don't think they'll stay up.
I think they stay up.
I think they stay up as well. Brighton.
Nothing really going
haven't
on there.
I mean, they've
Probably
obviously
should
they've got 50 million for Ben White.
Yeah.
Have
So
they
What's
Yeah.
happening with Basuma? Is he?
Looks like it's.
They've brought in a couple of players that I'm not too familiar.
Their
with.
recruitment is very good though.
Brighton.
Yeah.
And I think their system is just very good.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I think Graham Potter is just a good manager.
We know the obvious weakness is striker.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
they're gonna bring one.
I
I
don't
think
know.
Danny Welbeck signed for another year.
But Welbeck's not gonna.
Yeah.
Danny Welbeck.
So we can move on from Brighton, right?
Yeah.
Burnley.
Apparently they're
Something
signing
about-
Maitland-Niles.
You Burnley? Or
Apparently.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Mate,
I saw something about McNeil.
What,
Mm.
Tottenham?
Yeah, leaving.
where's he gonna go?
I think McNeil's a good player though. I
he's
think,
in a bit of a
Yeah.
sticky situation where he is.
but it's
like,
because like I think people don't really want to take a risk on him because like he's playing for Burnley, which is a defensive
he's
team.
the only flair winger they've got.
So like
in a
people don't know how he's
4-4-2.
gonna adapt.
Hey, respect the 4-4-2.
But
He's like João Felix at Atletico.
the issue is with
Yeah.
Burnley, they've had this massive takeover. Nothing's happened.
They could go down. You know?
Dale Stevens was who they brought in last year
They
for
could go down.
500k. This could be the year.
Yeah,
But they
hopefully.
bought some defender.
You
Sick of Burnley in the Premier League, man.
Sack
Turf
it,
Moor-
Barnes,
Turf
eh?
Moor
I know
away.
a couple man love him, but
Yeah, that's you, John.
Pope, eh?
Nah, I respect
Basically, it's
Son,
Nick Pope FC. If Nick Pope has a madness,
No,
Dumb, mate.
Tarkowski runs that team, fella.
if Burnley go down, I won't lose any sleep.
actually. Sean Dash is a very good
I
man.
like what Burnley represent though. Like
Yeah.
Burnley's a proper throwback.
They're like
Yeah.
a rugby team. Man.
Yeah, yeah.
Burnley's a rugby
Yeah, but there's
team,
always
man.
been rugby.
Like
Like
that.
Stoke used to be the rugby team.
yeah.
Yeah,
Circle the
Ryan
OGs.
Shawcross.
OGs.
Yeah.
just lump the ball forward.
They
and-
like-
Oh, man. Next is Chelsea.
So you think Burnley's going down? Yeah.
In fact, no, I don't think they're gonna go down.
You think so?
No, I don't think they'll go down.
Saying-
I think they'll stay up.
I don't think they'll go
I don't
down.
think they'll go down.
I think they will. You know.
Really,
I hope they go down.
Because I think the promotion.
I
the
feel like
teams
there's
that
a lot
promoted
worse
are
teams.
quite-
There's
No,
a
I
lot
think
worse
that-
teams than
I think
Burnley.
the promoted teams are quite good. So I think they won't be saved by them guys going down.
Okay, so next is Chelsea. What are we looking at for Chelsea?
Title push.
I think some of your business this year has been a bit mixed. Why are you going for Kunde when you sold Tamori and now you want to get rid of Katzuma?
Yeah.
Bit weird, isn't it?
Because he's better than both of them.
I mean, you don't need him, do you?
They do.
You do. Aspie's 32.
They
Thiago Silva's
actually do
37.
need him.
And that's if
That's
you.
the thing.
That's if you.
And what formation are you going into this season?
That's what
Though
I'm
that's the
thinking.
question.
Looking like a 3
If it's a free at the back,
got
then
options.
if it's a free at the back,
because I don't
yeah.
think he drops Rudiger, and he definitely doesn't.
He
drop
loves
Thiago
Rudiger.
Silva.
Yeah,
Thiago
so
Silva's
a free
playing.
at the back of Kunde, Thiago Silva, and Rudiger is very. That's a good
I think-
free at the back.
In the friendly they're playing today, Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic are the wing backs.
Yeah, he needs to stop that.
Bit weird,
it's
isn't it?
odd.
I think he's trying to get them all in,
Yeah, that's what I think.
but there's just so many. Ziyech, where's it?
For me, Hudson-Odoi needs to go out on loan or go somewhere permanent.
he needs to leave. Like there's
I
no
think-
place for him.
I think Dortmund's a nice place for him to go, but they've just got Marlon in, so I don't know.
So
Chelsea just need a striker. And,
But you don't need a striker.
Yeah,
You don't need a striker.
we do.
Right, Giroud's gone.
Yeah.
Abraham's probably going to go.
Hopefully not to Arsenal.
Come to West Ham, please.
I feel like West Ham would be a good place.
Yeah,
for
I
him.
agree.
He'd suit.
I agree.
He'd suit Moyes.
It's a nice fit.
Abraham and Giroud's gone. You got Werner.
Werner. I mean, inside forward
Havertz
more
will
so.
probably be the striker.
Um,
Do you know what? This might
Yeah.
sound mad, yeah, but I don't think Danny Ings would be an awful signing, especially short term.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be like another Olivier Giroud type.
Do you honestly
That's what I
think
I
like?
think stick with Danny Ings for a year, and then if Haaland becomes available
I
next
does
year,
Haaland think, damn, Chelsea? I want to really go to
he
Chelsea.
sinks banknotes in his
Yeah, I can't. Like, some of the stuff your fans are doing on social is a bit strange. Like, the whole thing is like, let's retweet this so the board can see it and we can sign Haaland. Like, transfers don't work like
Is
that.
that how this week?
Fam, no, it's just odd. Like, I'm seeing it.
Chelsea fans have been weird on social.
It's so odd. Like, I don't get it. There was literally he was trending because
Nice
of
little privileged situation.
there was a tweet where they were like, "Oh, retweet this under Chelsea's tweet so they can sign Haaland." Do you think Roman Abramovich seeing you retweet or tweet some little BS underneath a Chelsea post is gonna get you to sign Haaland? It doesn't make sense to me, but I think it is possible. It's a possible signing.
They signed a backup keeper, innit? Bettinelli.
I did not know that.
Did you?
Yeah. I think from Fulham.
I can't even lie, man. I don't really care too much about Chelsea.
Yeah, because your team's fine.
Yeah, I feel like
once you have a big overhaul,
I don't think the Haaland transfers for this season, maybe next season.
Yeah.
But then
I don't think he picks Chelsea.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think
if Real Madrid and Barca are involved,
I think he picks Chelsea.
Can they afford 75 million up front?
Oh yeah, because the price goes down next season.
Yeah.
Can they afford that up front? And it's a release clause, so you have to pay it up front.
do we actually know the price, or is that?
Yeah. That's the. I think that is the price.
I don't know.
But doesn't
Real Madrid ain't got the juice like that anymore.
And Real Madrid
think
don't
like
have
their,
Mbappe.
their eggs are in Mbappe's
Did man
basket.
just say Real Madrid don't have the juice?
They don't have the juice like that. Financially, they don't.
Financially, I agree.
they do
with you.
actually.
Bro,
In terms of prestige,
They've
Real
got an
Madrid
overhaul
always-
coming.
bro, no, I'm talking about finances. Real Madrid ain't got the juice like that no more.
Real Madrid's money situation. Is
Both
not
of them.
the
It's
best.
mad. That's why they're still trying to carry on the Super League thing.
Barca's-
Have you seen
Barca's
that?
finances are even worse.
Yeah.
Have you seen
£1
that?
billion worth
Barcelona,
of debt.
Juventus, and Real Madrid are still trying to carry on the Super
Apparently,
League
all
thing.
of them are in. Apparently, all of them are still in the Super League.
Yeah.
Really?
That's what
Three of
a
them.
court in Madrid said. They said all 12 clubs have never
I
left.
told you that when the English clubs were going out, I just said they didn't care about the fans. They just do
I
it.
told you,
Just-
football's not for
I knew
the.
it.
It's not for the fans.
But
It's going to
anyway,
come back. Give it 2-3 years.
Yeah, we'll
Give
see.
it
We'll see
2-3
it
years.
creep. In fact, no, they did. I think there's a law or something to try and stop them from doing it.
I
They
mean,
tried implementing something. So
when-
What you think Boris is going to stop them?
no, apparently they signed an agreement with the FA or something like that to stop them from doing it, so they
Yeah, I know what you're
can't do
talking
it.
about. The guy who done a thing with Gary Neville. Where
Yeah, like they
Yeah.
can't join the Super League anyway. Off the Super League, like with the Haaland transfer, I actually see him going to Chelsea next season.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised if he went Chelsea next season.
If Barcelona and Real Madrid come calling,
Then he'll
Real
still go
Madrid-
Chelsea because the Chelsea have the
But in
bread.
terms- okay.
Chelsea have more financial power
Chelsea
than
has
both of those two teams
situation,
at the moment.
Their footballing project. That if he's smart, he goes Chelsea. But I just don't think he does go.
bro,
Like, I thought,
no. If Real Madrid come knocking,
Yeah,
If
but
Real Madrid
the-
come knocking,
from what I've seen
do
from
they
the
have the
Haaland, the rumors, especially Chelsea side, is that if he went to Chelsea, Mina Raiola and him would demand a release clause.
because they want to go to
and,
Real
the
Madrid.
agent,
yeah.
and isn't the
But-
agent fee
Like
like?
he's spoken multiple times about wanting to take the right steps in football and not rush his career. And do you not think Chelsea is a very good step before Real Madrid? Not to cause any offence, but
It's not an offense to say Real Madrid's bigger. If Chelsea fans get upset by that, you're a pussy. Yo.
yeah, I think
Even Ronaldo left for what's
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Henry left.
Yeah.
If you're a great player, you want to play for Real Madrid.
But do you
But
not
the
think,
thing
do you not
is
think
that-
it's a good step though? Chelsea win the Premier League. Do your thing, because English fans are skeptical as hell. Unless they see you do it week in week out, they will criticize you to do it. Look, even Messi.
yeah, he's still maybe even sometimes I hold him to that thingy, but I just want to like with the Haaland thing, it's not like how it used to be in terms of Real Madrid and Barcelona being at the pinnacle of
Yeah.
football.
I agree. With
Barcelona and Real Madrid are no longer at the pinnacle of football. Football has changed.
Financially.
Financially,
I mean-
yeah. Even team wise, look at their squads.
No, financially. If
They're not-
Mbappe wants to go to Real Madrid, he does not want to go to Man United or Liverpool.
Can
I'm
they
sorry.
afford Mbappe and Haaland
But-
in the same window?
They can't, and
No.
No, it's one or the
and
other.
it's not a thing where like they
Because
have
next,
the
'cause
pool of
next season is where they're targeting Mbappe because his contract runs out.
Yeah.
they get him on a
don't-
free.
And no one else is waiting on Haaland. As soon as Haaland's release clause is up, people are paying that release clause.
And if Real Madrid play that release,
Real
clause,
Madrid-
he'll go
Real
to
Madrid don't
Real Madrid
get
or Barca.
Haaland. I don't see that happening. I don't see Barcelona getting him. Like,
Barca are even worse than Real Madrid financially.
Yeah.
you have to look at the money. Barcelona can't even. They could barely afford to play for Messi's
They
contract.
couldn't, they couldn't register their players.
They
You
signed
think-
free players, like players on freeze,
Yeah.
and they couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
You think that Messi can afford to? I mean, sorry, Barcelona can afford
You
to
might-
keep
you might as well call it
Messi.
Messi.
Yeah, if you think they can afford to keep Messi and then sign Haaland, no way in hell that is happening.
Not this summer, no, definitely.
Not even next summer.
Let's
Not even next summer. You think they can afford to pay? They could barely keep Messi and get him a new contract. You think they can afford to have Messi and Haaland on the same wages?
You see, when you're dealing with football clubs, you're dealing with something else, bro. When it comes to
Yeah,
money,
but you know
global
what?
entities, mate.
They ain't got the juice. Barca ain't got the
But
juice like that.
Barcelona's a weird one because Barcelona can quickly just go to like the Spanish government and say, "Look, we
Yeah.
bring in this tourism, give us this
I'm
loan."
telling you,
Yeah.
finance.
Braithwaite signs in February.
Yeah,
When you're a
we
big
bring in this
enterprise,
tourism, we want
finances.
this loan, and then
Nah, it's not looking, especially with the pandemic. It's not looking healthy.
And
We'll see.
Laporta's
For those
promised he's
two
going to
clubs.
invest, so I don't know. Maybe his own.
yeah.
I don't
capital will
think
get-
that either of those. In fact, we'll see what happens next year. But as it stands right now, I feel like Chelsea are in pole position to get him next season
So where do
because you
think-
haven't
where do
signed
think-
anyone this season, really.
Where do we think Chelsea finished this season, though?
Second.
Second.
Yeah. I think so.
I think
Top 3.
I actually don't know.
I think top 3 is the most, because I don't want to go out and say Chelsea win.
I don't
But-
think you win.
I think if Chelsea had got Haaland, I'd confidently say they'd win the title. But Timo Werner up front, I don't know if I can trust him for 38 games.
I don't think you can trust him for 5, man.
Yeah,
How many
absolutely.
goals do you need him to score to make it 20? You want
Yeah.
20 from
Yeah,
team
50
wait,
15 to 20
considering
minimum.
the amount of options.
But I think Havertz is capable of scoring 15 to 20
yeah,
goals.
well, it depends where you play him. But
Yeah. And I think other players can chip in. Mount can chip in and get 5 to 10 goals.
Ziyech, like, there's goals coming everywhere in that
Yeah.
team. Even West Ham and Chelsea were the top 2 set piece scoring teams in
How
the
many
league.
of that was down to Zuma?
Yeah, he
it
got
was
like
probably
6
Zuma,
goals.
yeah. Come to West Ham, please.
So,
So,
Should we move on to
so
Palace?
what we say now? Positioning, you man are saying top 3.
yeah.
Yeah, top second.
Me,
top-
honestly, I have no clue. I think the top 4 is wide open this
I
season.
don't think it's wide open. I think there's 4 teams that are getting into
I think
Yeah, I think there's 4 teams getting in top 4, but I just don't know what order it's
Oh,
gonna be.
yeah,
in.
yeah, I
think,
agree.
Well,
Yeah.
I actually think it can fall anyway.
What is-
Honestly,
We'll get
I
onto
think-
Liverpool, but Liverpool are right in the
yeah,
mix. and
because
they weren't
Liverpool are
last
back.
year. Yeah, and Man United have spent big.
Yeah, so I honestly don't know what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
I feel like it depends on transfers incoming.
And City as well, but we'll get onto them.
Yeah. Okay. The next team is Palace.
To make this quick, Mark
Gay.
Gay went there. Good season last year, didn't he?
He's got
Yeah.
high potential.
They brought in Elise as well, and
And
Gallagher.
Joachim Anderson,
Yeah.
very good signing.
They've got Vieira as the manager.
They're looking to bring in Reece Nelson on loan
They've
as well.
actually brought in players
Palace-
under the age of 25.
But Palace have needed an overhaul.
They've needed it.
And so far they've been impressive.
They've signed what I said they should be signing: younger players. They're getting rid of all the shit that's
Yeah.
there, and it's a shame that Eze's out for like half the season, isn't he?
But they brought in Elise though, haven't they?
yeah,
That could be interesting.
And they got some young guy, Rexu, something like that. Apparently, he's one of them.
yeah. And
more
Tyreek
talented.
Mitchell's getting more games as well,
Yeah.
at fullback. So
Palace,
we'll see. Palace should be okay. Next
This
season.
year, this should be. This,
It-
I feel like
It's
they
all
have a decent
Vieira. It's
season.
all Vieira.
I think
Vieira's an unknown.
I think it's on Vieira.
yeah, it's literally on Vieira at the moment.
Because I
Yeah.
think people understate how he did at Nice.
And
He
how-
didn't do poorly, but he just didn't do fantastic. And I think some managers, it kind of just depends what team you're managing. Because like,
Yeah, it's like the Thierry Henry situation. Like what happened with him?
I think it's Oli. Oli
Yeah.
didn't do too well at Cardiff, but Man United, he's not done badly at all.
Mm.
Whereas like Vieira, he might have not done too well at Nice, but he might be a lot better at a smaller club in the league.
Mm.
So we'll see what they do. But I mean, transfers, they've done well.
Everton. Was that this one?
They've had the worst window.
Is it just
Very big claim, I think.
Yeah.
that is, but-
Townsend? They've signed Townsend.
Gray and Begovic.
Begovic.
Shocking.
Yeah, that's abysmal.
Gray is no risk.
That is
And they've got an
disgusting.
alleged nonce.
Yeah, alleged.
I was
careful.
about to say, Damar
Yeah,
Gray.
we'll, no,
I
we'll,
mean,
we'll tread.
we
we'll
won't
tread
disclose the
carefully
name, we
with
don't disclose the name.
Yeah.
because the allegations are a bit mad.
Alleged.
And two, it's a bit mad saying that guy's name when he hasn't been confirmed and all that. I feel like all the
Yeah.
jokes about it is a bit. Yeah, I feel like considering we don't know for definite, yeah, it's a bit mad.
It's a joke, but it's
Everton
unneeded.
is a weird. Like they always have strange fruity rumors coming out. Do you remember
Yeah,
last
the
season?
James
Yeah.
Rodriguez thing.
Rodriguez
Yeah, that was a bit strange.
Yeah.
I feel like with that, until anything's confirmed, I
They
feel like we
always
should
have
just
fruity rumors about
refrain
them.
from making the.
But how
the
bad
jokes.
does this make this to James? Like everything happened. He came there for
Oh, he's
Ancelotti,
furious.
and now Ancelotti's
He's
gone to Real
furious.
Madrid.
Yeah, he should just cut. Like
He's
go
furious.
Wolves or
Yeah.
something. Like
AC
Yeah.
Milan.
I don't know.
AC
Yeah, go
Milan.
Wolves or something.
Hakan's going. Go AC
AC
Milan.
Milan's a good
Go
option.
Dortmund. Go like somewhere like that.
Where does Rodriguez go realistically? I don't know.
AC
AC Milan
Milan.
is the
AC
level
Milan.
he's at.
They gave you know that Brahim
Haka-
Diaz. They
Brahim-
gave him the number 10 shirt.
Oh really?
Yeah. But they're getting rid of a couple players.
Where is Hakan actually going? Inter.
You went into.
Yeah, that is mad.
I never really rated him that much though.
I don't think it's all that personally.
You don't.
Because there was rumors last season that he was gonna come to Man United.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a
He's been
free.
getting
Yeah,
linked with
yeah,
Arsenal.
yeah.
You would have
He's been
taken
getting
that, wouldn't
linked with
you?
Arsenal
As a
loads.
backup.
Yeah, there was like
Bruno.
they were very confident about it that happening. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. It didn't excite me either. So yeah,
Mm.
but We could move to Leeds, I guess.
Back to Everton. We missed out on Everton. We just spoke about.
Well, we spoke about
we spoke about
Townsend and
Everton.
Begovic, and
But where do we think they're going to finish? Because
Oh.
I don't know if they. I don't know if they.
That
get top
project
10.
Nah, I
is,
think-
in my
nah.
opinion, it's collapsing a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
I think
The amount of investment that's gone into that team,
I think from anywhere from 10th to 15th.
and that's just not good enough, is it?
Nope.
Not good enough. The amount of money they've invested.
Because like, let's be honest, they've got a
Chinese
a,
owners.
They've got a decent enough core of the team. Like Decore, Allen, James, Calvert.
I don't think Decore is all that.
They're not bad.
Yeah, they're
players.
not bad. They're not
They're,
bad.
they're good enough players, but when they get injured, the rest of the team stinks.
When Digne gets injured, no creativity. When Hammers was coming in, they had no one to cover.
Tom
Like,
Davies
They went through that
and
phase where they bought
Sigurdsson.
like 10 attacking midfielders.
Yeah,
Like, and just
Bernard,
random.
Cenk Tosun still on the
When
wages.
Calvert-Lewin
Yannick
wasn't playing, they had to play
Bolasie.
Richarlison up front. It's just
Charlotte's
not there,
front,
mate.
ain't that isn't a bad option.
No, but Richarlison would rather play off.
He's probably better up front than he's out wide.
Really?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
more
but
of an
do you
inside
want-
forward, isn't he?
Do you
to be
want
honest?
Bernard or Bolasie starting in the Premier League?
I forgot about Balassi. He's back, isn't he?
Because that's the wing
I
option.
thought they're gone.
No, they're still in the wage bill, I think.
I swear Bernard.
Yeah,
went.
Balassi.
Balassi's prime AFCON football.
Yeah.
I swear Bernard went. I swear.
I
swear
don't
you
No,
know.
know.
Bernard was there this year.
In my opinion, I don't think it's that bad. They're just squad players.
They're just nobodies.
Squad players, isn't it?
Like-
They struggle.
Their
They
wing-
when
their
they get
wing options-
injuries, they
Their
struggle
wing
so
options are
much.
so poor. Like, apart from Richarlison, Iwobi, Damari Gray, Andros Townsend,
Bernard.
Bernard, Bolasie. That's just awful.
That's
Isn't
so medium.
I don't think. Balassi
And they were meant to
playing-
break into the top 6 and be that new big.
It's not happening.
Let's move on.
And they're centre backs, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the next club on the list is Leeds United.
They've signed Junior Firpo.
Yes.
That's a very good signing.
Yeah,
Yes.
cheap as well, I think.
Wait, I got
Not like Wolves
I think
spending
they
like
got
30
Jack
mil.
Harrison as well. on
Yeah,
the
Jack
permanent.
Harrison on permit. It's very good for 10 mil.
Yeah.
That is a bargain, mate.
talking
Yeah.
about Leeds. Shout out Max.
Yeah.
He did a little preview about Leeds. He sent me a paragraph.
And he's a Leeds fan as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
let me read it out. First of all, it's obvious, dependent on signings, we should be looking to bring in a CM and a left winger. I'm going to work with the assumption that these signings get made. So I reckon another top 10 finish is possible. Lots of fans want Europe, but are looking at how other teams are strengthened and think it might be tough. Think we're better than Everton now, and we'll be fighting with Leeds, with Villa and West Ham this year, most likely 7th to 10th position. So the strength, we kept hold of all our players, especially Rafinha. The fans are back, which could actually be a negative at times at home. A lot of pressure playing
Leeds
at Ellen Road, but away from home will definitely help. So the weaknesses is depth at DM, left wing, and striker. Apparently Bielsa wants to try Click as a DM, but Max isn't convinced that he's competent enough on the ball, especially when looking to progress
Not
through
mobile
dribbling
enough.
or passing to play through. Another interesting thing he actually said was second season syndrome. I wouldn't have thought there would be a major drop off, but teams and players know how they've played against us before, so they know about our intensity, the pressing, and the patterns. So, and then from a total perspective of the Prem, he's saying he's interested to see how Palace do this season because they've made a lot of class signings. Just unsure Vieira is the man to get them all together. And then also, we're going to mention about them later, but Wolves under Lage, here's some different things about him, and he wants to do something what he wants to do every times. Yeah, so he's a really intriguing one. So yeah. But yeah, shout out Max for that. But yeah.
I would just say, I think Calvin Phillips staying is really big.
Was anyone really interested in him, seriously?
But that's the point, like, because they have literally, he is the metronome in that team. If he's not playing, they struggle big time.
Same with Rafinha, to be fair.
But Click moving to DM, he's not mobile enough, in my opinion, from what I've seen of him.
Did Max say striker was a weakness?
I think he's talking about depth.
I think left wing as
Because I was
well.
going to say, I don't think Bamford's a bad striker for him.
No, apart from Bamford, who did it?
Yeah, if
They
Bamford
have-
gets injured, they're
Don't they have like, is it Helder Costa and
Yeah.
Rodrigo? They're all like strikers, hybrids that are like playing enough. I don't know.
I think Leeds. I agree with him that I think they probably are, but at this moment, better than Everton. But I don't know, especially about Europe. I don't think they're Europe because I think West Ham are better than them. I think Villa, even if Grealish goes, I think Arsenal just about. So I think that's outside of the top 6. That's 3 teams already.
Never know they could sneak a Conference League. Never know.
7th place, you never know. But
7th. You think they finish above
Spurs.
all them teams?
No. But my point is, like, in terms of the style of play, I feel like with the style of play they have, it doesn't matter if teams know how you play because it's so you can't stop that.
It's
you
so
just can't
intense.
stop
You
it.
can.
Yeah, you can't though.
You
Like you can legislate for it, you can obviously plan, but like
I mean-
the amount of intensity that involves.
I mean, I think there's
You
definitely
can
ways
plan
to
for
play. Like, I mean, Leeds got smashed a couple times.
but they're not
last
going to
season.
change because they know that teams. They can be
You
like,
just
oh,
do what United did in that
But I
game.
think-
What was this? The 6-2.
Yeah, like what we did. When
That
we beat
was
them
that was
4-0.
it. Hit them on the break.
But I
that's
think the thing with Leeds is, I think the approach they've adopted is they would rather like win one game and lose 2 than draw 3,
yeah.
or draw 2 and lose 1.
But they're not going to change from that. They're not.
Yeah,
they're
so
not
like-
going to because stylistically it would take ages.
Yeah.
Like because it's so unique.
So I think they just miss out on top
think-
half. Probably 11th.
10 to 12. Yeah. Something like
Who's next?
that.
Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester.
Oh, another good song.
They're gonna.
Patson Daka.
Leicester's a very interesting one because are they gonna make that step that they've been trying to make? And I think it's too late.
Yeah, I think they've had
Ooh.
their window of
I think it's too late.
I think the big boys have spent too much.
So you think this is they just become
Fifth.
like
I think Europa League
5th,
is their ceiling.
5th, 6th.
Yeah.
even if they continue to make these signings?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
it's
we're
too
talking-
late now.
we're-
Yeah,
But
but like I think I've said for a minute, like I think when you're adopting that Leicester method, it's only got like the ceiling.
It's got a ceiling,
the
and that
ceiling
ceiling
is
runs
top
out.
four.
Yeah,
And like once no matter how badly the big boys spend, if you spend and keep on spending, inevitably you're just going to be good. Like Man United is an example of that. Like Man United have not always spent well, but they've spent so much that the minimum they will fall is not that bad.
Mm.
And like no matter how badly they spend, they'll still be above Leicester.
Mm.
But the signings they made are good though.
very
Yeah.
good signing.
They're
Xhaka
building a
and
very
Samari.
good squad.
Yeah. Do you reckon they keep Madison?
Yeah, I don't think anyone comes with a concrete offer.
Does he start?
Well, if Samari's there now, do they do Samari and DDT?
I think that's a better midfield three.
It's more defensive.
That's
you
a
know.
good midfield three. I like that one.
Does Vardy start?
Well,
Oh, it's ahead of that car. Wait, are they gonna play the two up top?
Maybe, but it might be Kelechi.
Yeah, because a Kelechi and it could be Kelechi
it
and
could be like a
Dako.
4-3-1-2 or something, and then
Barnes,
Yeah,
the
that's-
whole.
Barnes is back as
Yeah.
well.
It's interesting to see what they're gonna
Where's
do.
Harvey
They have-
Barnes going to play?
The good thing about we were talking about Leicester before
They have
and how they
options.
didn't have depth.
Now
Now they have
options.
depth,
and they have
Yeah.
formational options as well.
but the depth came in a season too late,
Yeah.
or
And
two
they
seasons
get
too late.
injured.
No,
way
I don't
too
think it was about
Mm.
the first season. It was about the depth. The second season was just about injuries, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that's
as well,
depth.
bro.
Yeah.
No, that's injuries.
No,
If
because
you have
if you
eight
have
players
depth and you get injuries, you're still good.
If you have 8 players out,
Yeah, but if you have the depth, then you can replace those injured players.
you know you can only have 25 players in the squad.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
not
but
all
if
of
you
them
have,
are
like-
good, bro.
Hmm?
But not all of, but their players weren't good enough. Like they had like Hamza Chowdhury.
Yeah,
as,
because
like,
they
the
had
first
they
on
had
the
like 8 players
Chenga.
injured, bro.
yeah,
At
but
one
then
point.
if they
Wait,
if the same thing happens to them this season,
There'll be a lot. There'll be.
it will be
All 8 injuries
they'll
at
be
once.
better off.
Hmm?
Yeah.
All 8 injuries at once.
There was one point they had bears.
Yeah, I remember.
when they
But was
played
it 8?
Arsenal, they had
It wasn't 8, was it?
Yeah, but what we're saying is with the depth thing, if the same thing happens to them this season, they're in a better position than they were
Like
last season.
in terms of like right back, I mean Ricardo Pereira was always out, but now they're fine for that. Same with left back.
Yeah, because they have Justin.
Central midfield, they have like 3-4
They have-
options that they're
Exactly.
fine with. Up
Yeah.
front now, they've got options they're fine.
They're 3 strikers
And
now.
centre backs, they've got 3 centre backs that are good enough
Yeah.
to start.
Yeah.
'Cause
Like-
in my
Alright.
opinion, depth is more about when you have like 2-3 players out. That's depth. But if you have like 8 players out, that's not depth. That's
Yeah.
just injury crisis.
Yeah.
And that's what Leicester
I
always.
can't remember if it was all at once
Yeah.
though. That's the thing. Like, moving on to the next team.
Where do
Liverpool.
we think they're gonna?
Oh, yeah.
We said ceilings fifth.
I think 5th.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I think they're
Spurs
going to
have
miss
done
out
enough.
of.
I don't think Spurs have done enough to finish above
four.
Leicester.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
Nuno as well.
Moving on to a team that has a lot of injuries. Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yes,
The thing you said about them, so signing all those players, Liverpool didn't sign anyone for
They're
ages.
saying Konate.
They saying the thing is with Liverpool, I don't think they needed to make that much signings. I know the fans are kind of annoyed
Yeah,
at how they haven't spent, but they have a good team. People are forgetting they still finished third with a massive injury
They
crisis
finished
last
5
season.
points off Man United.
Yeah, they had a decent. They didn't have a bad season considering the injuries that they had. They have Van Dijk coming back, Gomez coming back. They have Konate, Matip. So they probably won't see. I don't think they're gonna see Nat Phillips touch the pitch this
I think they
season.
should sell him, to be honest.
I don't think they're going to see Reece Williams touch the pitch this season. It's going to be a very different season. I think Liverpool are going to be title contenders.
Maybe Naby Keita might actually.
I think
play.
Liverpool are going to be contending for the title.
I don't think so.
I think they will.
I think the situation with the front three
I think
is
Firmino holds them back.
very, very. It's getting worse. All 29 years old, all out of contract in 2023.
Because let's not forget, last year, in a lot
Should've
of
sold
games,
them.
it wasn't like people like to chalk it up as the defense cost them the title. And I understand they had a lot of injuries, but in a lot of
the
games,
attack.
the front three were poor.
It's just
Yeah.
Like it wasn't the Van Dijk being out didn't stop
Mane and
Mane
Firmino
being
not
poor.
scoring goals.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the ones you have to look at is Mane. and
Depends what
Firmino.
Jota does for me. If Jota starts,
It was
then-
unfortunate.
I don't
Jota
think
got injured
I
at
don't
the
think
wrong
their front
time.
three is gonna wait. Jota's fit for the
I
start
think
season,
so.
isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
He played in
So
Euros.
yeah, he played in Euros. So I don't think their front three is gonna be
Firmino
Firmino,
will drop
Salah,
out. I think
Mane.
Firmino drops.
Firmino's the one that goes.
Or he'll go do 4-2-3-1 and then play all out.
I don't think he's gonna change his formation.
He'll rotate around.
Do you reckon? Yeah. Do you reckon he'll do 4-2-3-1 with
Whoa.
Firmino in the 10?
Klopp rotate. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's not gonna do it.
Trent
is he?
and Robertson, same situation. Another 50 games.
Yeah, but they had a rest though. Trent didn't go to the Euros.
Yeah. And Robertson got
Robertson
knocked
was-
out.
I
He
feel
was out
sorry
there
for
pretty early.
Robertson. The amount of football he's had to play for the
He
past
got out there
years.
pretty early though.
Yeah,
had a rest.
yeah. An eye for an eye.
So we're saying
Um,
top three. Don't know about title.
I think title contenders.
I
But
think.
not-
I'm saying title contenders. I honestly don't have I don't know who's gonna win the league. I'll say that now. I just don't know.
I want to say third or fourth.
I think title contenders.
I want to give it to them. You know, I think Van Dijk is just that guy.
Yeah.
Well, you think they can win it?
I think they can.
Yeah, I think they can as well. Yeah.
I think they can.
I still think
It
the titles
depends.
between City and Chelsea. I still think.
Nah,
that.
I think-
still
I think
think that.
Because City, like people think we're gonna get on to them. But obviously, Grealish and Kane are the big rumors. If they bring in one of them, then even just one, I think they're gonna have to change the way they play.
Yeah, we'll
And
get into
that's-
that. Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah.
I know what
But
you mean.
The City debate's
especially
gonna be
both of
interesting.
them. Both of them, they're gonna have to change.
Yeah.
massively.
Yeah, could be problematic.
Very.
Even for
Pep's
Pep.
not changing for Grealish or Kane.
Well, I feel like Grealish. He apparently said he wants to play Grealish as a number 10,
I thought
straight up.
I thought it was as an 8.
Or yeah, sorry, as an 8,
Yeah.
double 8.
Gundogan's
Yeah.
position.
Good one's gonna drop.
Rodri is gonna be working like
Mate,
I don't
He's
know.
gonna
But
have.
that,
He's
that
gonna.
actually segues quite well because the next team is Man City. But yeah.
Now Pep does the inverted fullbacks, innit, to make up for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what we say for City? Okay, well,
I think
where
they
should we
signed a left
start?
back as well.
That's the question. Where should we start with City? Because
They don't need to sign those two players to win the league.
this is I have a
But
controversial
Pep's
take.
talked
Do you not-
about
do you not
shaking
think-
it up and
Do you not
stuff.
think?
I think
I think with Man United signings and the fact that Liverpool have come back, I think they need signings to win the league.
I think they
They can't
don't
go
need
and,
those two. I think the Grealish signing. How are you gonna fit him into that squad? Because if you're gonna have to play, they'll probably play a single pivot of either Rodri or Fernandinho, and then De Bruyne and Grealish. That midfield gets ripped. It gets ripped on the transition.
Even with a fullback playing in midfield,
that
it still
that
gets
midfield gets ripped on the
Wouldn't-
transition.
Wouldn't we have said the same thing when they had KDB, David Silva, and Fernandinho?
ripped. Yeah, but they had Fabian Delph
But-
coming in. Remember,
That's
thing
what I'm
is-
saying.
the
He's
thing
gonna
is
play
David
with
Silva-
inverted
and
wingers.
Danilo as well.
He's
But
gonna
the
play
thing is with
inverted
David,
fullbacks.
the thing is with David Silva, he has a lot more discipline than a Grealish. Grealish likes to
That's true.
roam.
that's true.
He likes to drift out on
So-
the wings. He likes to.
David Silva likes to roam around as well.
Yeah, but it's-
David Silva, I
David
think,
Silva
is more-
started out as Grealish. He started out as a winger, and
I
he
think-
came in
I think
midfield.
Silva is more tactically aware than Grealish.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think you can teach that. And you,
I thought Grealish
Is
takes
Grealish
something
Grealish
away.
gonna
That's what I'm
work
saying,
back?
that's what I'm saying, that
Is
takes
he gonna
time,
track
though.
back?
And I don't know if you can afford to take that time with the other 2-3 teams
Yeah.
in the league.
but you know how Pep does. He likes to sometimes blood play. I think if he bought Kane, he'll play him straight away. But with Grealish, he could.
But Kane is stylistically going to change the way they play.
But the
completely.
thing is you know how the blending players thing, how you're talking about, it's 100 million.
Yeah.
Can you afford to be
Potentially
leaving them-
200 if
Like-
they can.
I swear he bought Cancelo for 60.
Yeah, but 100 million for Jack
All their like
Grealish.
top players have been bought for like
You-
60s, 50s.
You can't be spending 100 million on a guy that you're gonna slap on the bench. It don't make sense.
But that's going to happen.
I mean, you
Well, that's
could.
going to
I
happen.
mean,
He's
you
going to.
could.
No one's guaranteed
I'm
a
sorry,
place.
Grealish isn't some world star.
Yeah, but
superstar.
okay, then why are you paying 100 million for him?
Because you want
Exactly.
him. But he's not a. Superstar.
But do you need him?
They don't need him. But maybe he
Are
wants
they
to play
just signing Jack
Maybe
Grealish?
he wants to play 6 midfielders.
It's but you're signing
I'll
Harry
wait.
Kane.
If they sign Kane and Grealish, then there's definitely going to be some like teething problems. Because even in the Euros, when they played together like in the
They get in each other's
warm-up.
way.
Exactly.
Because they both come in.
You know one key player that he has to play next season is Sterling because they're gonna need runners.
Width.
But
They're gonna need
supposedly
runners,
they're trying to get rid of Bernardo Silva.
I think that's
Jesus,
bullshit, to be honest.
Sterling.
No, he shouldn't get rid of
Nah, Sterling has to stay after
Yeah.
that.
Who else?
Laporte.
I think Zinchenko.
Laporte. Gabby,
Zinchenko.
Jesus.
There's a-
Zinchenko's quality.
Jesus Silva. I think
In my
Zinchenko,
opinion,
Laporte.
Jesus.
But they haven't
Mahrez
started the overhaul,
and
the
Bernardo.
exodus of the players. They haven't.
Well,
That's the thing that I'm confused
Bernardo's
about.
a good option for any club that's looking for
Mate.
number 10.
Yeah.
Cough.
Well, you can play anywhere.
Us now?
Yeah,
Never know. But what does he want to
Would you take him?
100%.
Yeah.
I take him over Madison.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think he's tactically
more versatile.
very versatile.
And for Arsenal, it's probably
The best.
to help.
I don't think he's good enough to start for City consistently, though.
Neither.
Who?
Bernardo.
Silva.
But he had that. But do you know what?
But he's
He had
Pep's,
that-
he's Pep's bumble.
Bernardo
though, isn't he?
Silva.
Silva is
he had
not
that
good
one
enough.
season when De Bruyne was out.
Yeah,
where
17, 18.
So
innit?
I think
But-
maybe De Bruyne and it might be De Bruyne that he.
Yeah, but that contributes to it. I don't
Yeah.
think he's good enough to start in that team consistently.
It's not. He's not
No,
good
he's-
enough.
He's
It's
good enough.
he's
No,
He's good enough.
in my.
he's not.
probably the most skillful. One of the most skillful.
I think maybe
players,
it's just the
definitely.
role he's been given. Just
Yeah, that's what I'm
He's been
saying.
playing a lot deeper.
It's
now,
not.
hasn't he?
I don't think it's a him problem. It's the
the
team
He's a
surrounding
bit of a
him.
square peg in a round hole.
But what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always say I don't want flair players with.
I will say though, this season Rodri needs to have an amazing season.
He just
like,
needs, yeah.
like, he's gonna be on his own, and
No, he won't. He'll have Carl Walker. Carl Walker don't go
Carl,
forward.
okay,
Carl Walker will be next to him more time.
he's gonna have to do a lot more than he has done recently.
Okay. Should we
Let's
get
move
more
on.
into Harry Kane?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we think Harry Kane leaves?
I think Levy's just a prick.
Yeah, I don't,
Like
think,
he's not gonna let him leave.
I don't think Spurs need to sell him.
Yeah, I
There's
think
no-
they kind of
He's got 3 years left on his contract.
Do they need the money?
they do need the money.
They need to pay for
They
stadium.
actually need the money. They need to pay off that stadium. The
Yeah.
pandemic hit them pretty hard. He came out and said the pandemic hit them probably the hardest out of any team in the league because they just bought the new
They're still
stadium.
they've signed Galini and they're gonna sign Romero.
And Brian Gill.
Yeah, so they have got money. But
I feel like they should sell him, but they won't. I don't think they will sell him.
he doesn't want to be there, does he? But he's not the type of guy to like.
But I think Levy,
go on
I think the
riot.
way Levy sees it is that like he sees it where I could sell Kane now
Yeah.
and get 100 million, but if I keep Kane, it gives me a much better chance of getting in the Champions League, which is 100 million anyway.
Yeah, it's all
that's
evens
true.
out.
I feel like the way everyone else has improved, even if you keep Kane, you're not getting into the top 4.
I agree.
I mean, that Roland,
Especially
and
with
Nuno.
Nuno. Yeah.
No, but to be fair, yeah, I know we've ripped Spurs and like how they've missed out on managers and transfer targets.
yeah,
But one thing, if I was a Spurs fan, one thing I would say about them is at least they're showing ambition.
yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
went to try and get Conte, and then they went to try and get Koundé. They went to try and get, I can't remember who else, but they missed out on a couple very big profile guys.
Yeah.
And even though they're missing out, one thing I'll say, at least they're trying. Like,
Yeah. Are we gonna talk about Tottenham later on, or
Yeah.
should we just
Yeah.
carry on with them
Who we
now?
got next? United.
United, come on. You see the badge.
Yeah, take the floor then.
Go on,
You see the badge. I'm not gonna. The thing is, it's easy. With United, it's very easy to get mistaken and caught up in everything. that's
Title
going on.
challenge minimum. Stop beating around the bush, bro.
Nah, it's
Come on,
actually
man.
so easy to get just taken into because it's exciting times. But at the end, we've signed 2
world
of
class
our,
players.
yeah. It's
Varane could.
brilliant Murtog madness. That's what I call it. Murtog has done his thing. You see that bum Ed Woodward? He's out of the club. He's still at the club, but he's not in charge of the transfer. You see, as soon as we got rid of that bum Ed Woodward, see Murtog's doing his thing.
Edward Woods, he's not a football guy. He's just a
Yeah,
banker.
he's a finance guy. He's a finance guy. That's why he's pissed off now.
When I saw,
and
he,
now we're
when, he
good.
saw, when I saw he got the sponsorship for the training ground, I said, hey, this guy knows what he's doing in the commercial
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, the commercial thing is patterned, but he's a bum when it comes to transfers. Like he's trash.
Expectations?
Very, very good transfer window so far. I feel like if we get that 3rd target, which would be the CDM,
Tough position.
lovely window. If we do get that CDM, I think title contenders. Yeah,
I don't think it should be like. I think you should be title contenders anyway.
really.
Yeah, because like
Um,
we went through the world class players episode. And Man United had what Shaw, Maguire, Pogba, Bruno, Sancho,
And now you can add Varane to that.
Varane.
Shocking.
That's 6. Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, no. In fact,
your
you're
in your
talking
opinion,
sense.
they're world class. And that's
I would
6
say-
world-class players. Like,
Yeah, with us, I would actually say
you should be. You should.
we should be title
In my
contenders.
opinion, you should win
Because
the
of-
title.
this
Because
is-
like you've done.
You think we have a better team than City?
I think you guys have done this process, and this is the climax of it. So like you didn't. Oli hasn't spent £400 million to win a Carabao Cup and come second.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this here right now. It's documented. If we don't win a trophy this year, and if we don't challenge for the title this year, unless there's some mad
Keyword, challenge for the title.
okay title contend, if we're not like within
Yeah. 5 points.
5 points behind whoever wins the league,
Yeah.
okay. Barring some mad injury crisis, if we don't win a trophy or we're not 5 points within the league, Oli needs to go.
But like
Oli needs to go because we can't
You
use
can't
the
afford injuries.
excuse.
I don't think you can afford injuries.
But trophies, like, is a Carabao Cup really?
No,
enough?
even that's kind of poor.
Yeah.
But
That's what I'm
at
saying.
least
Like,
that's poor.
400 million for a Carabao Cup
Can
and
I-
challenges.
Because of with that, we can't use the excuse that Oli hasn't been backed anymore. If we get the CDM, we can't say. In fact,
He's already been back. You know.
No, but Denzel, like, I think with the CDM thing, yeah, I think Man United fans, like, not even trying to put this at you guys' doorstep, but I think you guys are gonna use that as an excuse if you don't win the title. And like, no team in the league is perfect. Like every single
Yeah, that's
team
true.
has one position they want to improve.
I feel like, and can I another?
Come on, man. McFred.
I want to say something quickly,
Bro,
That's not
Man,
gonna-
Man City haven't had a striker for how many years?
just to
Nah,
say,
but Pep
just
likes
to
not having a striker though.
just to piggy off what Dan
I
said.
mean, Oli likes McFred.
With this, I thought about it a lot. The reason why we need to play McFred is because the defense was so shaky. Lindelof was just a liability. Maguire, before the start of 2021, he was a bit suspect. Now you have a defense of a solid Maguire and a world-class defender, Rafael Varane. You don't need as much defensive coverage. You don't need that box in front of the two defenders. Because we were essentially playing like a box. So you had the two, you had Maguire and Lindelof, and then you had McFred protecting them, and it was kind of like a box thingy. Like it was a how many man in midfield, like basically playing 4 centre backs, kind of, just 2 advanced centre backs. Essentially, that's what they were.
Do you think you have the best defense in the league in terms of personnel?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Do you think your
Who
defense
does?
is better
Van
than
Dijk
Liverpool?
by himself.
Is
the reason why.
your defense better than Liverpool's?
In fact, no, no.
Van
Yeah,
Dijk.
I did.
Van Dijk.
I've said that
Yeah.
Liverpool have the best defense in the league. I think they do. Liverpool
'Cause
actually do.
I'll be
Yeah,
honest, I
Liverpool.
think Maguire improves massively this season, and I think the reason why is because a lot of centre backs is about partnerships.
Yeah.
And Lindelof, I don't want to get onto him, but he's a bum.
whack, man. He's
a bum.
trash, man.
His passing's good, but he's too weak, too
Yeah.
soft.
I do feel like sometimes
Yeah,
he was
bullied.
getting rubbed out. Big
He gets
time.
rubbed out a lot.
But he's just not good enough.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
with the CDM thing, I don't think it's as essential. We do need a CDM, but it's not as important because we signed Varane.
It's going to be an excuse when you don't win the title.
Yep.
CDM
It
and
will.
striker.
It probably.
CDM and striker is going to be the excuse when you
I
don't.
don't
win
think
the title.
striker can be an
Striker
excuse.
doesn't really matter.
You don't think?
I don't think striker can be an
You're gonna
excuse.
need it. I think you're gonna need to get a striker.
Because of-
I want-
A DM is too important.
Not
But
now,
at
but
one point at one point last season, the striker was the excuse when Cavani and Martial were both playing
Striker
bad.
can't be the excuse because of Martial had a very trash season last season. He doesn't get anywhere near the starting lineup this season, in my opinion. But so we're probably at the beginning of the season. Rashford's gonna have his shoulder surgery. Starting lineup will probably be Sancho on the left, Cavani in the middle, and Greenwood coming off the right. When Rashford comes back, it will probably be Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right, and then arguably Greenwood or Cavani, or maybe if Martial figures it out, he manages to get into that team as well. The attack cannot be an excuse. It actually can't. Looking at that attack, it cannot be an excuse.
Goalkeeper might be the excuse.
We have 2. De Gea's suspect. I don't want to see him
Yeah,
starting,
because
but we have 2 decent. I wouldn't say De Gea's crap.
you have very good goal.
We have
The
2
one-
decent
the one
goalkeepers.
thing I'll
The
say-
goalkeeper can't be an excuse
For
either.
me, I think the only thing that will hold you back from winning the title is Oli. And I think a world class manager gets you the title. If you had Pep, if you had Klopp, if you had Conte, if you had Zidane, if you had one of these top managers, they win you the title with the players you have. But Oli, I think Oli is the reason why Man United fans are not confident to say, yeah, we're going to win the title. Like, if this was Ferguson times and you had this team,
Ooh.
there's no question about
Champions League, bro.
No
Yeah.
I'm
question.
looking at UCL.
Nah, I still have Man City because
I'm looking at UCL if we have Ferguson as the manager. But
two in 30 years. Okay. Let's move on. Let's
yeah,
move
no,
on.
we're not. No.
Where do
we're
you
not,
think?
bro.
Where do we all think? So
But yeah, it's
Man
just.
United.
I'm gonna say third. I think.
I think they finished third. I think they finished fourth.
Oh.
Same with title contenders. Now
I think you finish above Liverpool.
I think you should be title contenders, but I think Oli is the reason why.
Very interesting. Josh, what are you saying?
Oh no, you don't want to know about the next team.
Just title
That's it.
challenges.
What are you saying about
Toonami.
Title challenge.
title challenge? Yeah, I think title challenge. Yeah.
So
Well, what
first
position?
or
Second, first?
Anywhere between first. Like I said before, I don't know who's gonna win. I actually don't have a favorite.
Mm.
There's still
I
a
think
window
it's-
to be done in it, so it's too.
Yeah.
Well, do Man United look like they're going to make another signing?
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
because of
who you been linked with?
Yeah.
I think the thing is with the Man
Camavinga's-
United signing, the third signing, the CDM. I think it depends on Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
If Paul Pogba leaves, we're getting another centre midfielder.
Mm.
Bugger.
If Paul Pogba stays, it makes it a little bit more complicated. But I think we're looking at Camavinga.
Mm.
He's not a CDM.
That's
bro.
what I'm thinking. He's not
Yeah.
But
a light.
a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he's really young. He has a
Very
lot of
highly
good.
rated, though.
He has a lot of good defensive ability. He has good defensive ability, so we can mold him into a
Yeah.
CDM." I'm not too sure about that. The signing that I think that would get us over the line is Wilfred Ndidi.
That's
Mm.
not gonna happen.
I think if we signed it Ndidi, it'll get us over the
That's
line.
another massive money purchase.
Yeah. Leicester know they can
How
bump
much?
it up.
How much is
Wilfred
Ndidi
Ndidi
worth?
is not being sold for less than 60 million.
I was thinking 100.
I was thinking more than that.
I'm thinking 100
I was
million.
thinking
that's what
more
I'm
than
saying.
that.
If Declan Rice can go for what 80 million, that's
Yeah. Well, 100.
Ndidi is worth more than
60 is
Rice.
the
Yeah.
absolute minimum.
I think. But
Oh no!
I think
he'll be
80
way
is
more
maybe
than
the
that.
minimum.
He'll be
And that's,
way
and
more
that's
than that.
another
Yeah.
another big money purchase.
I think the thing is we don't know about Ndidi's price. There's no set price on
Yeah,
Ndidi.
there's not
That's the
really-
thing. But if we manage to pull off an Ndidi, I don't think it will happen.
Mm.
If we did, I think that would get us over the line. If we signed Wilfred Ndidi, I would say yeah, we should be winning the title.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's fly through the rest of these guys.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
Newcastle. I don't know who they've signed.
We haven't signed anybody.
We don't care about
Saint Maximin. I've
Newcastle are going down. I'm saying that.
Steve Bruce first man to get sacked.
They've not signed anyone. They're looking to sign Joe Willock. I don't think they do because they're too broke. But,
God, Joe Willock does not want to stay there, does he?
well,
He doesn't look like Newcastle.
I think he actually likes Newcastle, but I just don't think they have the money. We should really
Yeah.
be selling them to them because his stock's at its absolute highest, but they don't have the money. I think they'll probably go down.
No, if Saint Maximin's serious, then they'll be alright.
Yeah. Right. Norwich.
Yeah, he'll be serious as well.
I think Norwich go down.
They signed Milo Rashica from Thingy.
They
Werder
sold
Bremen.
Buendia, though.
I think Norwich go down.
Buendia is a big loss.
They got Gilmore as well.
Max
That's a good sign.
probably need Max Aarons to stay.
Oh wait, I forgot Watford. Oh, man. I don't know.
Southampton. Now this is Southampton's. I think.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Relegation candidates.
Yeah.
Really?
They're gonna be down there.
Yeah, they
They're gonna
are
be down
in
there for sure.
trouble.
I think they just survive.
Yeah, I think they survive.
So yeah,
Wait,
But they're gonna be down there.
Why they're in such a bad position?
owners want to sell. No investment in the squad. Ings is gonna go. No creativity. It's a shit show.
Apparently, Ward-Prowse might go as
Ward
well.
Prowse as well. Their two best players in their team are gonna go. There's no investment in that team.
And Ralph looked good, but I think people have figured him out.
Yeah.
I think Ralph's a good manager. I feel sorry for him a little bit.
He's been battered 9.
I don't feel sorry
I know.
for him.
Okay, yeah, the
At all.
9-0s, yeah.
The 9-0s twice is a horrible thing to have in your CV.
I can
So-
tell though he needs more backing. He's had barely anything. It's like, but I think I'm relegation candidates.
What are we saying for Tottenham? I think top 6.
Top 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Watford relegation.
they've completely.
I think my 3 relegation is probably going to be Watford, Newcastle, and Norwich.
Mine are Watford, Southampton, and Brentford.
Mine are Watford, Burnley, and Newcastle.
I don't have one.
West Ham. Oh god.
Up the stab.
Right, lads.
Go
Come on.
go on,
So
take the floor.
I'd just like to
There
make
you
a
go,
quick
mate.
prayer. The fact that we have actually signed a player on loan. His name is Areola, and I'm
That's a
thankful he's
very
here.
good signing.
Yeah, very good signing. 28 years old, helps us out massively. We've actually got some competition at goalkeeper, and none of them are fucking 35 now. All of them are. But yeah, it's a shit show at the moment. We have no squad. We're competing in 4 fronts. I've never thought I'd say that in my life, but we are. We're going to go into another season with Mark Noble being our backup at DM and centre mid or whatever. No striker. Mark Henry's going to have to play another 50 games. Oh, God, it's just... Honestly, like... The GSB, apparently, £1.3 billion takeover proposed. They put the bid in and they didn't accept it.
I don't understand why West Ham have not been spending because you got the Europe money.
I know,
If there's any summer to
exactly.
spend, is there summer?
There's no justification for it. The training ground is a state. We literally have a shack for a training ground in Rush Green. Honestly, The less said, the better.
Realistically, who would you want to see West Ham sign?
Okay, Tammy Abraham, I think,
Is a good purchase.
Yeah.
I think.
on loan, I'll take it. We need a centre back now because Balbuena's left. I'll take Kurt Zuma.
Did he leave?
Yeah, Balbuena left.
If West Ham get Tammy and Zuma, they're two very good.
That's
purchases.
good, man.
Very
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Very nice.
I was saying we have a yard sale if you want. We got Bears.
You could Ross Barkley. I don't even think would be bad either.
We probably need a cam now. Yeah, we need a cam because
Chelsea might as well just give you the dead
Jesse's not coming back to us, is he? Nah, I know Jesse's not coming back.
Jesse Lingard is ours. He's ours now, mate.
Like, I can't lie, we probably need 2 strikers to be honest. Like,
You can have Tammy and take Nketiah off us.
oh, God. I wanted Patson Daka.
Yeah.
I say
He's cold.
but
I think there's deals still to be made.
But
in West Ham.
apparently, I've heard, and Aureo raised this earlier on, Soufal is getting annoyed because he wants a new contract already. And obviously, like, he had a good, very, very good season, didn't he?
He's 28. Isn't
And he's 28. He's at that age where, like, that big contract could set him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, no talk on Souček, so that's good. But
With West Ham though, I feel like something can be done with Chelsea and West Ham. I feel
there
like
must be some.
I feel like
Hope it
you can
doesn't
slip in a
involve Declan
Rice.
Rice.
I feel like there's something. There's gonna be like a trade
100%.
like
plus
4
cash
players or something like
or something
madness.
like that.
What
There's
do
definitely
What do
players.
you guys think of Declan Rice? What's
I
the
think
situation? What's gonna happen with him?
I think he'll end up staying.
West Ham would
Yeah.
just charge too much. No,
We're-
Yeah, you're asking for too much money.
He'll go.
He literally makes up
yeah.
a
But I think-
quarter of our evaluation of the
Can
whole
I just
squad.
say? I think when he goes Chelsea. I think when he goes Chelsea.
I think he just goes to any big club that offers him. Really.
Yeah.
I think
But where would that be?
United is still.
You're not. I see United.
No.
Would you
I
take
don't.
him as
You would take him.
No.
bro. You would take him.
Nah, I don't want him.
100%.
Why is he?
Yeah, he's a-
He's
he's-
literally
I
a
just-
lights out DM that you need.
Why would you? Why
Because I feel like there are better options for cheaper.
Like who?
Indeed, he's probably going to cost less than
It's
Rice.
about the same, really. It's
about the same.
I think.
I feel like he
He's a
costs
better ball winner though.
exactly. Indeed, he's a way
Wow.
better player than Rice. Like, it's
But I
not,
think Rice screens the back four very, very.
No, I
very
think
well.
I actually think Rice is probably a better overall player than.
I think
Ndidi.
Rice is.
You think so?
He's a
Yeah.
better
I
overall
think-
player.
I
Because
think so.
nah.
People actually disrespect
I do
Rice's
not
ball
think-
playing a lot.
Yeah, it's no.
Right.
You could just watch when you watch in England. He's told to pass sideways. You
He
can
can
just.
Nah, I just
it's very-
nah. I
And
don't
like
really,
the fact that the back four didn't concede, he's a big part of that as well.
Yeah.
Like for a
And
long
Calvin
while.
Phillips was moving
I
like a
just
yo-yo
don't-
up and
I just
down,
don't
no
think
cover.
it's gonna be as good as people think it's gonna be if he goes Man United.
So with West Ham,
Mm.
do you reckon there will be any more signings or?
Well, Kurt Zuma looks like it's gonna be the next. You know, that's the
But I
person we're
thought he
pursuing
was-
next.
I thought he was involved in the swap with Kunde,
No,
Well,
you don't want to go Sevilla.
but he'd rather go.
But
with
isn't it the
Sam
Sevilla don't want to deal with
wants
you
to stay in London.
unless
He wants to stay. in
Yeah, they
London.
want
Yeah.
Zuma involved in the deal.
um
But I think you just Chelsea will give him money.
Yeah.
Yeah, look,
pay
No,
16.
I think that
Zuma's
deal's
a good-
gonna happen, yeah.
Zuma's a good move.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the biggest priority.
We don't need a centre back.
Yeah.
We don't need him, but I feel like CM.
it would make you a lot better.
Do you know what?
CM
Zuma.
striker.
This may sound mad, but you lot, if you need a
Thing is,
striker,
I don't know who we can target.
You could
'cause, like,
genuinely 15 million. You could take Lacazette. He's not even an awful striker.
He's not
yeah,
going.
I'll take
He's not
Lacazette,
He's not
but
going West Ham.
50. I mean, he's not wanted at
bro,
Arsenal.
our squad is old as well. Like,
Yeah, he's 30.
it's just,
Is there any more teams? Oh,
Wolves.
That's what Max was saying. Watch out for the minute.
I
I don't know
think
too
Fab-
much.
I think
I-
Fabio Silva explodes this season.
don't.
Yeah, let's see, man.
It depends on the formation they play as well.
We'll see what happens. I
Uh,
think with them,
they
there's a
signed-
lot
they
of,
signed-
a lot of uncertainty.
You know,
around
Trincao
them.
signed on loan, so the manager Lag, he is actually
Trincão's a good player.
yeah, he actually worked with Trincao when he was at Braga.
Neto and
or Porto.
Trincao is two very good
So
winners.
and
Yeah.
Vitinha might get more games. Like
I saw him in the under 20.
yeah, so
baller. You know me with tech.
it's
Nah.
literally
Interesting.
we have no expectations on Wolves. Like
It'll be. I think they're going to be the vibes team. They're going to be the vibes
seasons,
team. The streets
one
won't forget
not
team.
so good
Maybe
season, and now they're
they
going
might be
into-
that team. Them
I
and
think Crystal
Palace. Them and Palace are the streets won't forget teams. We'll see that.
Yeah,
Them and Palace are like the ones where people don't really know what to expect. They could be
Yeah.
very good at they also
exactly.
could be-
Watford
It
as
could
well.
even be. It
Unknown
could even go
entity,
really
man.
well.
Is Watford the last one? Or
Watford was
Watford, we just said they're going to get relegated.
We said we finished.
they could actually get relegated. To be fair.
I don't know much.
Ben
about
Foster
them, so I don't
cycling
care.
GK.
So,
Final thing before we move on, because
I'll take Will Hughes actually at West Ham.
Who?
Will Hughes as a cheap
He was
option.
so hyped up when he was at Derby.
He had a good season last year in Championship.
Yeah.
If we need a
Fair
backup CM, I'll take him. And Bakayoko as well.
yeah, you can have him,
Yeah.
man. Just call Marina.
Yeah.
She'll set you up. Man.
Charging 40 million.
Cheap negotiator.
Final thing before we end up, was it Jack K? Shout him out as well. He sent another prediction. He's an Arsenal fan, so he said his Arsenal prediction for this season is 5th to 7th right now.
Ambitious.
So reasons for this is
I'm joking.
we have strengthened, but not enough. The back end of last season showed improvement when we actually played with a 10. But if right now we went into the season with this team, I reckon only a couple points in it between 4th, 5th and 6th. There's a lot of factors that will determine it, and one is how the teams in and around boosted their squad. Additional signings that need to be made. Cam, CM, a right back, a backup keeper, preferably a striker if there's the right one on the market. For me, I'm not saying Arsenal will finish top 4 if they make these signings. I think 5th is more realistic, but the right signings will give me a confidence that I don't have right now. It depends a lot on, like I say, the teams in and around us who let go and who comes in. Also, the one game a week will help Arsenal, I think.
Yeah, 100.
What else is there? So the title race, I reckon United and Liverpool can compete for the title, but I feel both have teams that are only 1 or 2 injuries away from an issue.
Yep, absolutely.
First half of the season will show if there are title contenders again. City, you can never put them out of the title race, especially if Kane and Grealish are signed. And Chelsea are going from strength to strength under Tuchel. But I just feel like they might fall short due to their lack of clinical edge in finishing over a 38-game season. And then finally, the title for this season, I think there is 4 contenders: City, Chelsea, United, and Liverpool. European place contenders, 4 names mentioned as above, and then Arsenal, Tottenham if they keep Kane, and potentially Leicester. I'm interested to see how West Ham do with the extra European workload in terms of squad depth. Villa could mount a European push if Grealish stayed, but it's not going to happen. And relegation, he said Sheffield United, they're gone, bro. He said Newcastle and Norwich. So, yeah.
Maybe you meant Brentford, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. But shout out Jack K for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
So that wraps it up pretty much, yeah.
Anything they're going to mention? All right, yeah, people.
A couple weeks to go, we'll see what happens in the window.
Yeah, people, you hear the latest news all the time. Make sure you're subbed in. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share with your people. We'll be back again for another thing here and there. But peace.